welcome back to Cash Flow Confidence. I'm Shelby Ashley, and I help business owners feel more confident about their cash flow. Today's episode is for you if you've been kind of side-eyeing your own business lately, thinking, I don't even like this anymore, or this is not at all what I signed up for. And I just want you to know you're not alone, because there comes a point when a lot of business owners, especially once you start to hit like that mid six-figure range, going up into close to $1 million, where this dream starts to really feel like a job that you cannot quit. Because once you're at that point, you've realized that, okay, what I'm doing is working. Like, this offer has been validated, people are buying it, but now you're kind of stuck because you're making a lot of money, which means a lot of client fulfillment. You probably don't have enough time to go out and prospect for more sales, and you're kind of stuck in that spot where you don't really yet have the capital to invest in a whole team to just take care of everything for you. So today's episode is kind of centered around how to change that, because I want you to stop resenting your business, and I want you to be able to do that without just completely throwing everything in the trash and setting it on fire and starting over. So if you're feeling the pressure, you're burnt out, you wake up every day thinking, I hate this, then I've got you. So that resentment doesn't really start with just one thing. It's several things that kind of build up over time. So it's not just your client work or your schedule or your inbox alone that makes you think, ooh, I'm really starting to hate this. It's just a slow buildup of a bunch of yeses that you shouldn't have given out, or just a bunch of times when you didn't really stick to your boundaries, or you created offers because you thought you should, a bunch of tasks that you never did outsource, or maybe it's the way you trained your team initially, but maybe that way is outdated or it's not really working anymore. And all of this combined leads you to one day wake up and think, this business, it's not mine anymore. Like, it runs me. I've traded one cage for another one. And I want to reassure you that you didn't do anything wrong along the way to get to this point. Everyone gets to this point. I'm just here to remind you that you're allowed to redesign what's going on. So if that's you, then I want to encourage you to take out a sheet of paper or go to your whiteboard or go to your notes app in your phone. Unless you're driving, then just do this all in your head. But write down everything, like all of your tasks, all of the offers that you're currently offering, any like platforms that you manage. Write down each of them and then label them with each of the following. The first one, label it as delete. So what can you just not do anymore? Like, some things don't need optimizing or scaling. They just need to disappear all completely. So any outdated offers, like dead weight projects, things that just aren't going to move forward, recurring calls that don't do anything for you, mark those as delete. And then after you've marked everything that you can delete, we're going to mark what you can delegate. So what are you still doing that somebody else could do? And I don't mean like they can do it, but they're going to do it your way. I mean, they can do it and they're going to do it totally different, but it's still going to be effective. So you need to really be honest with yourself here. What am I okay with giving away and letting somebody else just completely take ownership of? And so make sure you're not hanging on to things that are just out of habit or just because you want control or you feel guilty giving it to somebody else. A huge trap that business owners get into is the trap of micromanaging, which is understandable because everything has been built so far based off of your vision and your idea. You obviously want it to keep going that way, but you need to understand and allow yourself to realize that in order to take your business from where it is right now to where it can go, you need to give these things away to somebody that is probably much, much better at them than you are. And that allows you to stick to the things that you are really good at. The next thing you're going to do after you've written down everything you're going to delete, everything you're going to delegate, write down everything you're going to redesign. So anything that, yeah, it's worth keeping around, but could I freshen it up a little bit? So maybe it's an offer that you have, how could I restructure this or refresh it? Maybe it's a task that you find yourself doing. Is there a way I can do this better, more efficiently, whatever that is? Or maybe it's like a process. So maybe it's like your onboarding process that needs to feel just better and more in line with how you want to show up for your clients. So these are things that you want to keep hanging on to. You don't want to get rid of them at all. You just need to refresh it a little bit and make it more relevant to your business and how it runs now. And then the fourth, category. So once you've marked everything you're going to delete, everything you're going to delegate, everything you're going to refresh or repurpose, this next one, go through and mark down what are the things in your business that are already working, so you don't need to refresh them at all, and they also bring you joy. So what are those things that while you're doing them, you just feel like totally energized, time just seems to stand still. If you had to do anything for the rest of your life, like you would do those few things because you just love doing them for the sake of doing them. That's what you need to do more of. That's what you need to prioritize yourself in order to stop feeling so burnt out all the time. I'm a firm believer that what we spend our time doing, like the energy that we bring to these tasks, whether it's one of enjoyment or one of, oh, I just got to get this done, but I really don't want to, that's the kind of result you're going to yield in the end. So if you're doing something because you just love doing it, like you don't care what the outcome is, you just love doing that task for the sake of it, those are the things that are going to produce the most, I guess, bounty in the end because you did it with that energy. Whereas things that you do that you just feel like you have to do them even though you hate doing them, those are the things that are going to yield like a not so great result, which then just creates a feedback loop because you're like, I didn't even want to do this in the first place and it didn't even have the results that I wanted it to. So anyways, spend your time doing the things that you love to do, that bring you joy. If you don't remember what those are, then I would suggest taking a day off. Yes, scary, I know. Take a day off from your business. Don't do anything. Don't even check your email. And just spend the day how you would if you didn't have this huge weight on your back. What would you end up doing? How would you spend your day? I feel like when we completely remove ourselves from these day-to-day things, that's when our best ideas kind of flow through because our attention is not being placed in all these different areas. Like we can finally allow some creativity to come through. Do that. I think you should do this at least once a month, to be honest. Take a day away from your business. Don't talk to anybody. Don't check your email and just see what comes through because you do not need to suffer in your business to prove that you're worthy of success. You don't. Yes, you need to work hard, but working hard and suffering are not the same thing, despite, what we've probably been told on the way to get here. You do not have to suffer to prove that you're worthy of success. There is no trophy that somebody is going to give you for grinding through a bunch of offers that you hate or micromanaging everything that gets carried out in your business or waking up with just a pit in your stomach every single week. You're allowed to want an easy business. You're allowed to want a life where you are free financially and free from your time. And you're allowed to build around what you enjoy and not just what you're good at. I want to repeat that. You can build around what you enjoy, not just what you are good at. There are things that I'm good at that I don't particularly enjoy. And there's things that I enjoy that I'm not great at. Like there's things that I truly enjoy that somebody else is a lot better at than me. But I'm not going to stop doing them because I truly enjoy them. And so the bottom line is you didn't create this whole business to feel, trapped in it. You created it for freedom. And so this is how you're going to bring that back into the picture. So just to recap, just make a list of everything you can think of, every task, every process, whatever it is that has to go on in your business, and then go through and mark it as you're either going to delete it altogether, you're going to delegate it out to somebody else, could be somebody already on your team or somebody that you need to bring on. You're going to mark what needs to be refreshed or redesigned, and then you're going to put a big old gold star next to those things that you just love doing. Make sure it's, relevant to your business, those things that you love doing. But other than that, that's how you kind of keep track of making sure this thing just does not grow into some huge scary monster that's threatening to eat you. All right, see you guys next week.